I had a chance to interview Sonyu Panda for the Automatic Customer about H. Bloom, the subscription-based flower company.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things he really described to me was the importance of segmentation. So he was like, the biggest mistake people make in creating recurring revenue models is they try to create some vanilla program for all their customers. And what he did when he looked at the people who buy flowers, he realized there were lots of people who buy flowers kind of transactionally, like weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, whatever. But then there are these 5-star hotel chains that want to have the bouquet of flowers on the reception table. And those are the folks who buy them on a recurring basis. That's who we're going to design the subscription model for. So it was this like segmentation is kind of almost like a prerequisite or a first step in the process. Have you seen some similar work in your work with clients that segmentation is kind of the first step?
You have to know who you're designing the subscription for. And there's a couple of ways that I think organizations will often do it. Sometimes a subscription is for your best customers, right? Mm-hmm. So in this case, with the flowers, it's the best customers, the ones who buy big bouquets, I imagine, every week. And they also have, and I'm guessing they also have very different, like some different needs. They probably want delivery. They might have custom requests. They might want to reuse their own vases, stuff like that. You optimize around them, right? And you really get into their head about what their problems are. And if that works, then you might offer a second subscription for a different group, right? But you're right. They start with, and a lot of organizations will say, let's take all the features we can offer. And then we'll have gold, silver, bronze, and we'll kind of randomly, put the least in bronze and then add some features for each level. And you're like, well, who's a gold person and how are they different than a bronze person? And the answer that you're looking for is a gold person is a hotel, and a silver person, it's not a person at all. It's a hotel. A silver person is, somebody who does flowers for every holiday occasion, and they always do it for Christmas and Mother's Day and New Year's and, family member birthdays. Sure. And so that's what their subscription looks like that. And then you can keep layering it in. It's sometimes also used for your lightest members as a way to bring them in. So, Porsche, the car company, they have a subscription called, used to be called Porsche Passport. And I think they call it Porsche Drive. And it's kind of access to a fleet of cars, and you can rotate through. So you can have, an SUV 1 month, and you can have a sports car coupe the next month. And it's turned out that is really popular with people who've never owned a Porsche before. And
isn't that interesting? It's almost like an on-ramp to
It's an on-ramp. It's like, it's a big expense. I want to make sure I'm really a Porsche person.
Right.
But it's sort of interesting. You compare that. Volvo also has a subscription. Their subscription is designed for their core leasing customer, for their most popular model. I think it's a C model, C series. And it basically bundles all the things that a lease has, but in a simpler way. So it's, it covers maintenance, and it covers replacements while your car is in the shop, and it covers all of the, all the licensing and all the other details. And, you always have because basically that's where people are like, I always want a car. I always want it to be a Volvo. I always want it to work and be in the best shape, and I don't want it to be old. Right. So those are two vastly different subscription ideas from, two companies that you'd think would do the same thing, right? They're both kind of high-end car companies.
100%. NetJets has their 24-hour card, which is like that on-ramp you're describing, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you never flown privately before. Well, here's an on-ramp to get you there, and they hook you in. And once you fly private, presumably you're never going back. So it's similar to the kind of Porsche idea.